So viewing your inventory. So there's a few different places to view your inventory. So obviously the first screen we'll walk through is the inventory lot. So for each inventory lot, you have the option to view your purchase amount, your on-hand amount, your booked amount, and your available amount. Now, I know some of you have questions around the purchase amount, and we're going to come back to that when we review our inventory transactions. But high level, basically purchase plus on-hand minus booked equals available. So for each inventory lot, you can see that here. By clicking on an inventory lot, you'll notice down below here, we show you the storage amount. So that's the storage location of where your inventory is stored for that particular inventory lot. Now notice I've clicked on this one here, the soybeans. Now down below, you'll see an orange color on bin 9. So what that's indicating is that bin 9, the inventory that's in there, is dirty or unclean per se. So at any time in this screen, just feel free to click on your lot and you can kind of drill down and see where they are in terms of storage locations. So the next place we'll take a look at for viewing your inventory is the storage location screen. So in here, you'll see a list of all of your storage locations, your current quantity, and which lot and product is within that storage location. Pretty straightforward there. The product screen. This is another screen where you can view your inventory. Now keep in mind here, when you're looking at your inventory, it does look a little different. So in the product screen, so remember, you can have multiple inventory lots for one given product. So in this screen, you're going to see, for example, for barley certified number 1, if I had 3 inventory lots that contain inventory, this would be here, the total of all 3 inventory lots for that barley product. So just a little bit of a different view here. You're still looking at the same information, just rolled up to the product level, as well as the booked product, booked lot, and available quantities. Another screen here is the inventory drill down. So this screen was designed to give you a view of your inventory at the variety level. So let's walk through that. So if I select a variety in the list, so we'll start with the top one here, the system will automatically pop up another grid down below that show all of the products in the system set up for that variety. Now you can see I have on hand 8,499.7, and underneath here it breaks it out into the products where I have that inventory on hand. Now if I drill down into the product, I can actually drill down deeper into my lot. Now here's a new thing that we have just added. So notice when I click on the inventory lot, a little pop-up box appears, a black one there with the writing. So it'll tell me a little bit more information that I might want to know about my inventory lot. And we've also added the crop certificate number to that level as well. So another option is to drill down now that I've selected my inventory lot, to drill down and view which storage location that inventory is in. So just a different kind of view, so viewing it more at the variety level from this screen. Another one we do is we have the visual bin inventory screen. So in this screen, this was designed to give you a view of your yard, how you have your bin set up and what's in your bin. So we're not going to go through setting up the visual bin inventory, so that's going to be a completely separate webinar altogether. But what I can show you here is so you can have multiple yards set up with all of your bins laid out exactly as you have them in your yard. Now from here I can see, so for example, let's take a look at bin 6. I can see that I have 2,000 bushels of barley certified number 1. Now if I hover over that, you will see a pop-up. And it's going to tell me a little bit more information about the inventory in bin number 6. You know, like the pedigree, the variety, is it clean? What's the total quantity? What's the crop year, etc. So another place just where you can come in and kind of view your inventory at a different level. All right, so I'm going to go back to the inventory lot screen here. All right, so let's walk through some inventory transactions. So again, I apologize for some of you that are very familiar with seedtrakr at this point. We're going to start out with some pretty basic transactions, and we will get into demoting and converting inventory a little bit later. Okay, so the first thing is, let's just walk through receiving inventory. So we'll use this inventory lot here. And to receive inventory, you can do that a couple of different ways. So you can see I've got this set up in bushels as my unit of measure here. So over on the right here, I have my receive inventory actions button. If I click on that, I've got a couple different options. I can receive inventory manually just by saying, this is exactly how many bushels I have, or I can also tell the system, how many kgs, how many pounds, or how many units, if we're dealing with soybeans, I'd like to receive, as well as selecting the receiving location. Or I have the option to receive inventory with a scale ticket. So this here, I can select my target location, enter in a scale ticket number, my weights, etc., and then I can receive inventory that way as well. For these purposes, I'll just go in and manually receive some inventory. So I've got my receiving location. I'll say 5,000 bushels. Now here, I have the option to receive against a purchase, which we'll get to shortly when we cover off purchased inventory. I can select an override date if I wish. So if I did this transaction, an hour ago versus right now, but I'm just getting to it, I do have the option to set the date and time. And the unclean checkbox. So when receiving inventory, you have the option, tell the system, is this inventory clean or unclean? For right now, I'm just going to check that is unclean and select save. So now you'll see down below, I have 5,000 bushels of unclean inventory received into bin 2. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little trick. So sometimes, maybe you made a mistake and you just want to set this inventory to clean because you accidentally checked it to be unclean. What you can do is you can just do a quick adjustment. So when you select the adjustment action on an inventory lot, you have the option to go in and select the bin that you'd like to adjust. And you can simply just put in a 0 quantity if you wish. And then a comment for tracking. So I've just added a comment here. I'm going to change this from unclean to clean, because I accidentally did it or whatever. So I'm going to uncheck it. I'm going to select save. So it actually didn't adjust anything because my adjustment quantity was 0, but I was able to set my inventory back to clean. So that's just kind of a tip that some people don't know about. So you always have the option to adjust that clean or inventory flag if you wish. All right, let's do an actual adjustment. So sometimes we do make mistakes and we just need to adjust our inventory, or perhaps we thought we had more than we did. So just selecting the inventory, adjust inventory action, you can go in and select a storage amount. So let's select bin number 2. So let's just say I want to reduce my quantity by 200. So if I put in a negative 200 because I'm reducing, I can add a comment here for tracking. And if I select save, the system's automatically going to reduce my on-hand and available, of course, inventory with the adjustment that I had performed. Another option here for inventory transactions is transferring inventory. So if I want to, I can select the transfer inventory action and select 2 different options here. So one, transfer inventory, I'm just going to manually plug in the values and transfer, or I've got the option to transfer with scale ticket. So for this example, let's just manually put in the values. So I'm going to select start out by selecting which location I want to transfer the inventory from. So let's take bin 1, for example. And we'll say we're going to move all of it to bin 4. I'm going to put in my amount. So we're going to move all of it. So I'm going to put in 500 bushels. Now, when I select save, the system will automatically perform a transfer and move everything from bin 1 into bin 4. Okay, so you can see my quantities are exactly the same because I haven't added or reduced anything. I've just moved the inventory. So now my 500 bushels here, you can see are now in bin 4. So if I just quickly select the transfer inventory with scale ticket option, just going to show you. So it's the same concept. You're just actually entering in your weight of the transfer and then also capturing that scale ticket number if there was one. Okay, so that is in a nutshell how to receive, transfer, and adjust inventory. What I'd like to cover off quickly is purchase inventory and how that works and what it is. So sometimes, you know, let's say in the spring or whenever it is, you know that you have some inventory coming. So whether it be, you know, you purchased it through a vendor or maybe it's just in the ground, you don't know how much exactly you're going to have, but you want to start selling it. So an option that we have here, I'll just go to this inventory lot, is you can add a purchase amount, okay? And what that's going to do is populate the purchased quantity, which then calculates into your availability. So let's walk through that. I'm just going to select the purchase inventory icon, just a little $sign here. When I do that, the system's going to open a window and ask me for a vendor name. So this is yourself. You can simply just put in your own name here. That's what I'll do now. Or if you actually have a vendor that you're purchasing this from, you can enter the name in here as well. And then a quantity. So let's say that, you know, I'm not finished with, you know, my field yet, and I know I'm going to get 5,000 bushels, let's say. You can put in a cost. And I'm going to select save. So now the system has put in the 5,000 bushels of inventory that I know is either A, coming because I've purchased it, or I know it's coming off of my field. So now you'll notice over on the right, my availability is purchased plus on hand minus booked. So it just kind of gives you that ability to kind of forecast what you know is coming and get it into the system so that you can see it, or your sales team can see it, so that they can start making sales towards that inventory, even though it's not physically here. Now, what do you do when you get the inventory? So what you can do is a couple different things. So notice when I receive, so I'm going to select my inventory location. We'll say bin 1. And let's say I only received 4,500 bushels of the inventory that I did purchase previously. I'm going to check the box, receive against purchase. And what that's going to do is it's going to take 4,500 off of my purchase amount. I'm going to select save. So it's automatically reduced my purchase amount down to 500. It was 5,000 and I received 4,500. It's updated my on hand, which has obviously calculated again into my availability. Now, if I'm not actually going to get the remaining 500, what I can do is I can select that edit purchase inventory and just draw that down to 0. When I select save, the inventory lot adjusts itself and it's set to 0. So that's kind of how the purchasing function works. Now, I'm just going to flip over to the product screen here. Now, keep in mind that the purchase quantity does come back to the product level. So if you have multiple inventory lots with purchase quantities for a specific product, you can also see that here, and it is factored into your availability. Okay, so a couple more things to get through. So the first one we may as well tackle is demoting inventory. So in seedtrakr, you can take a pedigree seed lot and you can demote it to a lower pedigree. And and then further sell it. So let's walk through that. So the first thing you want to make sure when you're going to demote your inventory is that you actually have a product set up in the system with the same variety, but a lower pedigree, because that's what we're demoting it to, right? The system will only let you demote a lot to a product that exists. So all that means is, you know, if you're taking barley foundation and you're demoting it to barley certified, then you just need to ensure that you have, you know, a barley certified product here. So I'm just going to go back. So barley foundation. So let's demote this inventory lot. So to do that, I'm just going to go over to the right-hand side and select the demote inventory lot action. Okay, so the system opens a window and it asks me, what product do you want to demote it to? So I've got two options. So the system knows the hierarchy. It's built in, and so I've had selected a foundation lot, so it knows I can downgrade to registered or certified. So in this case, I'm just going to select registered, and I'm going to select save. Okay, so what's happened here? So right underneath it, you'll see the system created another inventory lot with a -DEM in the lot number, and then on the third last character of the crop certificate, it's inserted an R. Now you can change that. The system just defaults that as that's part of the requirements when you demote an inventory lot. Now what you'll notice here is, so here's the parent lot. By parent lot, I mean that's the original lot. So you'll see I have an on-hand quantity of 104.99.6, available quantity of 104.99.6. Now on the demoted lot, you'll see the on-hand is 0, but the available is 104.99.6. That's because the demoted lot always gets its available values from the parent lot, but we're not actually storing any inventory for the demoted lot. So what that means is you're able to now create a booking against either the parent product or the child product per se demoted lot. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So I'm going to go into my booking screen. I'm just going to add a new booking. Select my customer. All right. I'm going to add a new product. I'm going to book this against a specific lot, and I'm going to select the new demoted lot. Let's say the customer would like 1,000 bushels of this demoted barley. Okay. So now if I go back to my inventory lot, you'll see here that the system knows, okay, well, they've booked 1,000 bushels of demoted inventory. So now my availability on both inventory lots has been updated to 9499.6. So notice that the 1,000 booked is not on the parent lot here. It stays with the child lot. So now I'm just going to flip over to the product screen. So now here's the difference. So because we can book at the product level or the inventory lot level, we show that to you broken out here. Now, when you book against the demoted lot, remember you're actually booking against the parent original lot. So in the product screen here, you'll see that the booked amount actually shows up under the parent product level. But in the inventory lot screen, we've actually booked it against this specific inventory lot. So that the booked values will show against that demoted lot. Okay, so let's walk through adding a pickup to that. So I'm just going to go back to my booking details. I'm going to add a pickup. I'm going to add a scale ticket. For 1,000 bushels here. All right, so I've done a pickup for 1,000 bushels of the demoted inventory lot. So the system knows where that demoted product lived. So now when I go back here, you'll see that my booked quantity is now set to 0. It was 1,000. I picked up all 1,000. And both of my inventory lots have been adjusted. So really, the way to look at demoted inventory is the lots are linked together. So your on hand and your available inventory are basically going to be the same. So demoted child lots are linked to the parent lot, which is why in some cases, if it's demoted, you'll see 0 on hand and 9,499, in this case, 0.6 available. So I hope that makes sense. I am going to stop and just ask if anybody has any questions around demoting inventory before I move on to converting to commercial grain. Okay, fantastic. Well, let's move forward with converting to commercial grain. Okay. So sometimes we'll have, pedigreed seeds that we no longer want to sell as pedigree. We just want to, maybe we have a little bit left over, whatever the case is. We just want to take it to the elevator and we want to track that in the system, right? So what can you do? So the first thing that you need to do is if you want to create a commercial inventory lot for a pedigreed product, you first have to make sure that you have your information set up. So just like any other inventory lot, the first step is you need to have a product, right? You need to have a product set up with a pedigree of commercial to the same crop type. So once you have your product set up, then you can add an inventory lot as you normally would. So in this case, I've got my commercial barley lot set up here. So now that I have that set up, I can take any barley inventory lot and move it into this commercial barley inventory lot for sale to the elevator. So let's say that I've got this certified barley here and I've got 500 left in bin number 4. So let's say that I'm going to move that inventory into that commercial lot because I'm not going to sell it as pedigreed anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the convert to commercial grain action. And what happens here is a window opens up and it's going to ask me to select, first of all, okay, so this is the lot that I selected to convert the grain. Now, which storage location would you like to move? So in this I'm going to select number 4, which is 500. And then it's going to ask me, which target lot would you like to move that inventory to? In this case, I only have one commercial barley lot set up, so we only see one here. So I'm going to select my commercial barley inventory lot. I can add comments here if I want, and then I'm going to select save. Now, when I select save, the system's automatically going to move all the inventory from bin 4, from that inventory lot, into the commercial lot. I'm going to select save. So there we have it. So bin 4 no longer shows under barley certified. And if I look at the commercial barley lot, you can see that I have moved all of that inventory from the certified lot to the commercial lot. So now I can add a booking, or I can make an adjustment, or whatever, however I want to track it, and make a sale to the elevator. Now, notice that this inventory lot here that I initially was converting from is set up in bushels, and this one was set up in kg. So the system is built and designed to handle any conversion factors that are needed. So when you're converting from pedigree to commercial, you can have inventory lot set up in basically any unit of measure that you want, and move that inventory, and the system will automatically convert it for you. So no need to worry about that there. So yeah, so that's it. Now I can add a booking, and I can, make a sale to the elevator. Now, another thing I'd like to cover off quickly is inventory movement history. So on an inventory lot or a storage location for that matter, we have the option to view the history and all the transactions for your inventory lot. So let's take a look over to the right here. We do have an action here called View Movement. So if I click on that action, you can see here that I have done, Andrea here has done 3 movements. I initially did a receiving, another receiving, and I did a sale pickup. Now note something else new over here that is fairly new, is we've added a customer and a scale ticket number column. So if you're performing a pickup or canceling a pickup for that matter, or scale ticket, we will show you the scale ticket number and the customer name here. So at any given time, you just have to click that View Movement action, and it will show you all of the different movements that you've performed on each inventory lot. So it's really cool feature for when you're trying to track, you know, what happened. I see that my inventory values are not quite right. So it gives you a little audit trail just for that sheer traceability to go back and see that. You can also go into the reports menu here, and you have the option to run a storage location movements report. So I'm not going to run that report, but if I select that action, it's going to ask me, okay, well, tell me which storage location that you want to see the movements for. And it will show you the same information, but just for that specific storage location. So there are reports here as well built into the system for you to view your inventory. So you have your inventory by lot, inventory by product, inventory by storage location, and inventory reconciliation. I'm just going to quickly pop open the inventory reconciliation report and just have a quick chat about that. So this report kind of gives you one quick view of, you know, kind of what everything that happened with that inventory lot. So for every lot, you can go in, you can see, it tells us whether it's clean or unclean. All of the received values that we had ever done a receiving for, adjustment values, purchase quantities, current purchase quantities, on-hand values, booked values, available values, the total picked up amount, the total invoiced amount, and then obviously your balance would essentially always be 0. But this is kind of a cool little tool that is definitely one of the favorite reports out of them all. Just to kind of what's happened with my inventory and, you know, just an overview of that. So I'm going to open it up. If there's any questions, I'd love to answer them for you. So please feel free to ask away. Okay, well, if there's no questions, that's no problem at all. Please feel free to, again, reach out to us through our support form or access our seedtrakr help center here for more information. One other thing I would just like to make note of before we close here is, you know, if you know anyone that would love to attend one of our webinars that, you know, isn't a seedtrakr customer, they just want to know more information, you know, they're curious, not sure, they are welcome to join. So feel free to forward them the invite when I send it out. And remember that that is part of our customer referral program. So, you know, if we have a customer sign up that says, you know, well, so-and-so forwarded us the webinar email, we saw the webinar, we thought it was wonderful, that does count as a referral sign up and as part of the referral program. So like to thank you for your time today and hope that we were able to provide you some useful tips and information. Again, if there's any outstanding questions or you think of something a little later, send us an email to our support form and we'd be happy to assist you. So have a good day.